This is Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdell, and Con Carne is a Q101 podcast. Con Carne is also presented by Alex Ross Art, alexrossart.com. Alex Ross, for those who know, they know. But if you don't know, Alex Ross is one of the greatest creators in the history of comics and graphic novels. Once you see his work, you're a fan for life. You should go to alexrossart.com and see what I mean. And in fact, if you're looking for something truly special for yourself, for your home, for a friend, for a family member, buy some original art from alexrossart.com. If you're watching this on video, not just listening, you can see for yourself what Alex Ross is all about.
It's Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdell.
So I feel good, and I feel good because I did a good thing. I did a healthy thing. I took on the Oakbrook Terrace Tower as part of the Fight for Air climb, something I'm doing in partnership, something this podcast is doing in partnership with the American Lung Association. A couple weeks ago, on a Sunday morning, I climbed all 30 floors of the Oakbrook Terrace Tower in an effort to raise funds and raise awareness about the fight against lung disease. My climb to the top of the Oakbrook Terrace Tower wasn't pretty, but I did it, and it felt amazing. And we're doing it again. Not in Oakbrook. We're going downtown. We're going to Soldier Field in May. The Fight for Air climb, May 19th on a Sunday morning. We have Soldier Field to ourselves. Be part of my team. Donate to the American Lung Association. Go to fightforairclimb.org/Chicagoland. Make sure you mention Con Carne. Sign up to be on the Con Carne team. It's the Fight for Air climb, May 19th, fightforairclimb.org/Chicagoland. Mention Con Carne. There you go. I'll see you on the stairs. So what is a truly smart home? A smart home connects virtually every piece of technology in your home, whether it's the environmentals or the music or your TV or the lighting, the home security. With an easy automation installed smart home system, you and your family can control nearly every device in your home. And you could do it in a way that's easy and, most importantly, fun to use. Transform your living space with cutting-edge home automation. This stuff will change the way you live. It'll make your home even more fun to go to, even more exciting to live in. Experience seamless control over audio, video, everything I mentioned. Embrace the future with smart living. It is your home, your rules. Get a quote by visiting easy-automation.net, easy-automation.net, or call Dan. You know, I got to think, my guy Dan at Easy Automation, 630-730-3728. I got to think I should have taken him here tonight for Con Carne. I'm sitting outside Madame Zuzu's, Billy Corgan's place. Plant-based pastries, rare teas, coffee. He would love it here. Dan's a music guy. He also is a food guy. They've got beer. I know he likes beer, but good beer, not swill. He likes the good stuff. But call my guy Dan, because he will get you set with a free, hassle-free, no-strings-attached quote, just to let you know how easy it is to switch your home into a smart home. Call him up, 630-730-3728. That is his direct number. That is his personal phone number that he wanted me to give to you, easy-automation.net. I chose the one night to go to this place that they're not actually open. Normally we'd have food and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
but hey. That's cool.
This is Con Carne, a Q101 podcast. We're going to call this a local 101 interview. And to my right, if you're watching this on the YouTube or the Facebook, that is Jared Rabin. His songwriting talent scored him the Grand Prize. The Grand Prize! The Grand Prize at the 2023 John Lennon Songwriting Contest. He's been featured by American Songwriter, Bluegrass Today, NPR, and more. We, Jared Rabin, are recording right outside Madame Zuzu's in Highland Park, Billy Corgan's joint, because you're going to be here performing as part of the Acoustic Brunch on April 7th, 11 a.m. So as we're enjoying plant-based delights for breakfast, we can hear you perform.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been playing the Brunch series here for a little while now, like maybe every other month or so. It's great, plant-based pastries are great. Breakfast sandwiches, also, and Madame Zuzu's is just kind of a cool place to hang out.
Well, and how does one get in that loop? I mean, this is Billy Corgan's place. Did he tap you on the shoulder personally,
No.
or did his people talk to your people?
Yeah, it was more like his people talk to my people. It's more like they kind of have been set up in town here for a long time and started in the past couple of years, tapping into the local music community to perform here. So yeah, kind of his people got in touch with my people.
How many people do you have?
I got like one or two.
And then next month, or the month after that, you'll be at Space in Evanston, just south of here.
Yeah.
Opening for John Hiatt.
Yeah, wow.
No less than John Hiatt.
Yeah.
That's a great gig, too.
I mean, yeah, it's an honor to be mentioned in the same breath, it's scary a little bit, but yeah, it'll be awesome to.
Do you do all your own booking?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I for the amount that I play, I wouldn't really, no booking person would care to mess with me, probably.
Do we need to get you to do more gigs? Do we need you playing out more?
Yeah, I mean, I play all the time, every week, but it's, not always my original stuff. I do a lot of like other kinds of gigs, playing other kinds of music, covers, bars, restaurants, weddings, what have you, So
that allows you to pursue the solo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I figured out a way to make it work so that I can spend a lot of time writing and doing my own thing and playing when I can, and also kind of making a living playing music.
I love it. So let's talk about the John Lennon Songwriting Contest. I've heard the name John Lennon. I'm assuming this is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of him once or twice. Yeah.
So, what was the prize besides prestige and endless fame?
Yeah, I mean, so I've entered a few of these kind of songwriting contests over the years. I've I've won one other one, and gotten like runner up, and I've never actually gotten much of a prize, but this one actually I got a whole bunch of stuff just sent in the mail. I got 2 guitars, some studio monitors, like
nice.
A bunch of stuff. Yeah, I was shocked actually, because I like entered it, you kind of forget about it, and like didn't even remember I had done it, and like 8 months later or something got like a text like, check your spam folder, like we're trying to get a hold of you. Your song won the grand prize for the folk category or whatever. So I was like, whoa. And then got a bunch of cool stuff. And actually the contest like continues. Next month there's like an online voting thing.
Oh, this is a good timing that we're talking about it.
Yeah, totally. Next month, like throughout April, I'm supposed to be promoting that everyone should vote for my song to be like the Lennon Award is the next phase or something. And then you get the Song of the Year is after that. So it goes on. The Lennon contest continues.
That's a big deal. And the song we're talking about is Tunnel's End.
Yeah, Tunnel's End was from my album that came out at the end of 2022 already. So yeah, the song has had some legs.
Well, congratulations. That's
yeah, thank you so much.
It's always nice to have the validation of people going to see you, and it's also nice to have
any sort of in the music industry, anyone that tells you you're doing something well is great feeling. Yeah.
So let's talk about folk and Americana. I mean, these are styles of music that I grew up aware of, but they never like sunk their hooks in me until later in life. Is this something that you came to through playing in jam bands, or like how did you?
Yeah, kind of the same. It wasn't stuff I grew up on, but sort of came to through other avenues like jam bands and the Grateful Dead and bluegrass, stuff like that. And kind of as a younger adult, kind of got more into
The most recent video from Jared Rabin, again, you can see him as you enjoy a delicious brunch at Madame Zuzu's in Helen Park. Remind myself to breathe. Sometimes I need to remind myself to breathe. Maybe enough oxygen will cure what's ailing me.
Can only hope.
We can only... Are you under a lot of stress? Do you feel
that
the
was
weight of
kind
the
of
world?
that's where the song was coming from. Yeah, it's kind of like up at night, mind racing kind of stuff. That's
the
seems
worst.
sort of cliche, but at the same time, it's sort of relatable, and it's a real thing.
That is the worst. You're trying to go to sleep, and then you replay the day, and then fast forward to what you got to do the next day, and it's
and it happens to everybody. And, ringing noise, the ears ringing after the gigs at night. Just hard to calm down the racing mind.
just take a breath.
Yeah,
you're good. So is this song the tip of the iceberg? Is there more music to follow?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of just like going. I think I'm going to be going like song by song, kind of. I have another one in the works, almost done, that I'm going to hopefully release around the time of that John Hiatt gig. Kind of instead of doing like a whole album, kind of focus on each song. Give each song a little more attention of a release.
See, this is a topic I keep coming back to.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right approach is. I don't think anyone
I don't
does.
know anymore either.
Between doing a full album and
Yeah.
doing that kind of slow drip of singles.
I mean, right. I've made a few full albums, and it's great, and I'm really glad I did and put the work in and everything. But at the same time, I guess the way it works now is it's kind of like has a short cycle until it's not new enough for a lot of consideration anymore after like a couple weeks or months or whatever. So it sort of even makes sense to put more effort into smaller releases, and you can give more of your songs more attention,
And you can reflect it in video too. You can have a multi-dimensional approach with the audio and then the video as well.
Yeah, right. And it's just like if you're you releasing 10 songs on a record, you're probably not gonna make 10 videos for each song, and a lot of hard work kind of gets lost in the mix. More people are sort of not listening to a whole record as they are maybe a song or two. So it's just a way to focus. Put some more focus on each tune.
You talked about the Grateful Dead. Is the studio output of the Grateful Dead unfairly criticized?
Well, no, some of it is fairly criticized, but on the other hand, some of it is really great, like timeless recordings.
American Beauty is kind of a
that's probably the go-to example. And also some later stuff like Mars Hotel has some maybe kind of like dated sounds at this point, but it's also just a great recordings of the songs. Some songs that they didn't really play live also, but some of the studio stuff is kind of...
Shakedown Street is really cheesy.
Yeah, a lot of the sound choices are kind of dated to today's years, and a lot of the they were notoriously not really like focused in the studio and not the best at being produced. In the earlier records, when they went into wherever Warner Brothers with the producer, probably didn't know how to deal with them, and they ran amok from what I gather. So I mean, some of it's weird, but some it's also kind of a cool time capsule for people who are way into it.
I know people don't love the album Go to Heaven. I love Saint of Circumstance, and I know it's production-wise, it's goofy. That's one of my favorite Bob Weir songs.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's of that era. It's like a live staple. Saint of Circumstance and Lost Sailor is like a 17 minutes of Bob. It's a great tune.
Well, going back to your musical upbringing, I mean, you've been playing since you were a tiny kid.
Yeah, I started when I was 5. My parents started me and my family. My grandpa was a professional violinist, so they started me playing classical Suzuki violin when I was 5. And I spent my whole life going to Chicago Symphony concerts and all sorts of concerts and theater and stuff. So I was brought up definitely in the music world.
Are you grateful to your family for exposing you to all that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Now I am. I mean,
at the time,
it's
not
my
so
whole
much.
life. No, at the time I was, probably terrible. I was like a little resistant and rebellious as a kid, And, you know, they had to force me to practice violin while my friends were outside playing basketball type of thing. So, yeah, I mean, there's some of that. But, yeah, I mean, now it's, you know, pretty much, like, defined my whole life. So, yeah, I'm definitely grateful. It's harder. I have kids now, so it's hard to strike the balance of how much am I going to, like, and, you know, force it on them or not.
Because the second you force it on them, they push back and go in a different direction.
Yeah, totally. Which I already found a little bit trying to teach my 6-year-old now guitar. It worked out well for a little while, but you know, at a certain point, I was like, I gotta get like a guitar teacher, like someone else to come do this, because you're not listening to me anymore. This is gonna go bad, and I don't want to like ruin it for him.
Right. It should still be fun and exciting.
Right.
And
So
creative,
now it is. You know, we have a great teacher, and you know, he loves it. So yeah, it's great.
All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm just going to have you sit here.
Yeah, sure.
As I read what we call a mid-roll ad.
Oh, yeah.
So I mentioned this at the beginning of the episode. I'm teaming up with the American Lung Association to help them save lives. I've committed to climbing the steps of Soldier Field for the Fight for Air climb. There's no football going on that day. There's no concert. It's just us and Soldier Field raising funds, raising awareness about the fight against lung disease. If you'd like to be part of my team, go to fightforairclimb.org/Chicagoland, mention Con Carne, join the team, or just support the cause with the American Lung Association, fightforairclimb.org/Chicagoland. Okay, so your first album was 10 years ago, first solo album?
Dang. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was 2015. Or yeah, so 10 years ago.
What have you learned since then?
Oh, man. A lot about everything. I mean, just like where to begin. I learned a lot about recording, really. I kind of jumped into producing that record without having like a ton of experience doing stuff like that, and that's pretty much what I've spent a lot of the past 9 years since then doing, is producing my own music and other music and other types of music. But yeah, so I mean, in that sense, just like musical, like technical studio sense, I've think I've come a million miles. And yeah, I mean, I've, you know, since then I've toured all over the country playing myself and with my band, and you know, yeah, it feels like not that long ago, but also when you say 9 or 10 years, I guess it has. Yeah, it's been a long haul.
Well, when you talk about performing with the band, like, who are you working with these days?
I've been like pretty lucky with my solo music to have the same group of guys playing more or less for the past 9 years or more, and we've all been playing together for even longer. Drummer and I grew up together playing in you know, school jazz band.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so and he plays in a bunch of other bands in Chicago bands and stuff too. Yeah, so it's been the same group of 4 guys. It's a keys player, bass player, drummer, and we do you know, we can do like the electric band, we can do an acoustic kind of thing, and you know, we can do it without drums or without keys, all sorts of configurations. So it's cool to have the same group for so long. It's kind of a rare thing. We got like kind of a good chemistry, and we can just kind
got
of
it locked in.
You know, yeah, we can pick up kind of right where we left off without a whole lot of fussing, you know, which is nice. And yeah, nice with dealing with musicians.
You're all pretty much in lockstep.
Yeah, for sure. And we do other types of gigs together also. Like, we'll also be on like a wedding gig together, or like, you know, playing the honky tonk, whatever. Different bands together, and then
different bands, different vibes.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it's a good like versatile crew. Yeah.
What about song licensing? Have you gone down that road at all?
Yeah, I've been down all the roads. Yeah, I that's kind of some of the producing stuff I mentioned. I've been doing I've been doing it now for like 8 or 9 years. Basically amounts to, for me at least, what has amounted to is like kind of making beats at my house, and they go out to a couple different libraries. Then, you know, cross your fingers that someone, you know, from time to time I'll get like notified in one way or another that it was on some internet video or what have you. You know, that it's not been a huge like great revenue stream for me per se, but I have spent a huge amount of time on it. So yeah, there's that.
There is that.
Yeah.
All right, so looking forward, more singles to come in that slow drip kind of way. The next one should hit around the time of the John Hiatt show at Space, which again is May 6th.
Yeah.
Which, what a great little room. It always sounds so good in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to play there. I've done a bunch of different ways with the band. I don't think I've ever played like a solo set like to a sold out room there myself.
Oh, that'll feel great.
So yeah, which
And
is what
that
I keep
crowd-
coming back to thinking about this. It's a little
That crowd
terrifying.
No,
but-
that crowd will absolutely love you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks for saying so. I hope so.
Oh, I think so. I mean, the Hiatt fans are cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's it's that Americana vibe. I think it'll be right in line with hopefully what they're hoping to hear.
And again, you play the acoustic brunch here at Madame Zuzu's every month or two.
Yeah, I've been doing it like every other month or so for like maybe a year or more. Yeah, they got a great like diverse lineup of stuff though here on Sundays.
It's such a cool spot. Like,
yeah, I mean it's the awesome combination of like just a cool like coffee shop, tea shop place, and also it's got all this like awesome Pumpkins memorabilia, and they have records and like all sorts of other stuff.
Records,
artwork.
you say?
Yeah, there's records and there's art and just random stuff, lots of stuff.
And the big Chinese neon. The big
I
Chinese neon.
I actually just posted a picture of it the other day. I
How
love
can you
that
not?
thing. Yeah, it's great.
All right, so Jared Rabin, we will see you performing live. More music to come. Fingers crossed we should vote for you for the next phase of the John Lennon Songwriting Contest. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, hey, keep me in mind. Yeah, I guess you can vote every day in April, so I'll be reminding y'all.
That's what we do in Chicago. We don't settle with one vote. We keep
No,
it coming.
yeah, right. That's the Chicago way.
The cascade keeps on. All right, thank you very much for doing this.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.